This might well be the best self-built plot available on the market in Ireland today. Come across this site a few years ago. I used to walk down this way quite a lot, and it was crying out for somebody to do something with it. As you can see, it's an existing detached dwelling, derelict on a large plot with an amazing view over Dublin Bay. What I didn't know at the time was, or had actually gone through the planning process at that point, but it's a bit of a checkered planning history. So there was an initial refusal on a similar scheme to this by Fingal County Council in 2020. Refused on the basis of, I think it was overlooking concerns, the size, the scale, general design, and then crucially the site is in flood zone A. Locations would make it undevelopable, but because of the location and the sales values in this area, it's actually been viable to pick the houses up by a metre or so to prevent any or mitigate any future flood risk. So that's what they've done. It actually went to appeal. The case officer recommended the site for refusal, which was actually overturned by the board. So it said the developer probably had every intention of building out all 5 units, but crucially they had to divert a main on site, which would have come at massive, not just the time implication, but obviously cost as well. And I'd say the legals would have been pretty expensive to get over the line as well. So yeah, that's what I'd say is happening. They're now selling the 2 off at the front. In terms of the units that are for sale, what I'd be wary of if I was looking at this is the fact that there's a basement to go in. So there's a 1,500 square foot basement to go in. That's probably going to cost, I don't know, 400 or 500 quid a square foot, which is what, £750,000. And then there's another 3,500 square foot to be built at 300-400 quid a square foot on top of that. So all in all, once you factor in your land value, your build costs, your contributions, externals as well, I'd say this is gonna cost at least 3.5 million quid to get built. There's crucially as well, in terms of like external works, there's a fell main which is off site, so I don't know if that's going to be dealt with in terms of who takes responsibility for that and whether the developer of this plot A is going to have to do that. And then also there's a storm connection that needs to go in, and that in turn will be connected into Dublin Bay as well. So see here, so this storm goes across the road and then that's connecting into the bay, which is here. So you can kind of see that detail there. That's where the outlet is for the rainwater. So listen, if you're the type of person buying these plots and building them, that type of thing is not going to put you off. But in terms of the actual design itself, it's a big square box. There's a bit of zinc roofing and cladding and whatever, but I think if you can get that basement right, everything else should be relatively straightforward. Do you know what I mean? Apart from maybe that drainage diversion. So yeah, nice plot. Glad to see this being built out. Whether it's worth 800 grand, I don't know. I suppose this is just going to go to somebody, maybe an investor or a self-builder, who's not necessarily interested in the development value or the end value. They just want to build the nicest house in the nicest spot, So I said there'll always be a buyer for the best. So I'm sure that's no different here. But yeah, hopefully you'll find that useful. It'll give you a bit of an insight to the type of stuff that I'd be looking at when I was trying to understand the technical constraints involved in any development. And obviously it's nice to read over the planning history as well. So hopefully somebody buys this, does a great job, and we'll all get to see you soon.